My name is Buess. I am currently in the 11th grade and I am a potter. So when it comes to me creating a piece, I usually have to start with like a base idea. So before I sketch anything, draw anything, I need to have something that I'm thinking of, something that makes this piece different from stuff I've done before. Something that doesn't just make it a random pot I threw in 15 minutes. I have a lot of influence to my art from stuff I just see on Instagram. I follow a variety of potters on Instagram that I think make really cool, pristine, clean pottery. I'm scrolling through my Instagram trying to figure out what I haven't done. I'm just trying to find so these are textures that I kind of enjoy, but at the same time, how exciting are they? Not that exciting. That's what I'm trying to say, is they're so base level. And I don't just want to work on a glaze thing, because I can make any sort of form and glaze it cool. I want to look at the form of something. I want to really be challenged. So coming up with the initial ideas can derive from a few different places. Sometimes it just comes from me just sitting down and thinking, and I think of, oh, that might be a good idea. Sometimes I say, hey, Mr. Schwartzman, what does this do? And he says, oh, it's a tool that does this. I just go, huh, I've never done that before. And then I'll think, how could I use this tool, like a texture tool, for example, or a glazing tool, for example. How can I use this to make a pot look good? What kind of pot can I make that would complement this technique? I make a lot of things that are very, very smooth. That's something that's very important to me. That my level approaches something that is unique, individual, but almost looks like machine made. Like a point where my skills is at a level where my ability shows professionalism, right? That's kind of a thing I strive to do with my work. So, right now, I'm seeing this piece. You see this camera? You see this, what I'm looking at right here? Look at that goodies. Look at that goodies, camera. It looks cool. So I started with that idea and then I started sketching. So I just find a quiet place typically where I can just take time, sit down, and just sketch. I'll sometimes get a few ideas out. Sometimes I'll do a detailed sketch. It all depends on just how inspiration hits me at that point of that moment, right? So I've used this rib before to make designs kind of like this. So like what you see on this, these ridges, it's something that I really, really like. I think it's a cool effect, and I would like to take it into more than just like a round cup or vase or something like that. I'm thinking I might want to do some stuff with like very small ridges, like towards the top of the rim as well as at the bottom and where the pattern breaks off. I might want to look at the very small ridge that just kind of ties that whole effect together. Frankly, this shape right here, this kind of hard shoulder, is something that I think is a really cool design that I've seen before, but I have never really explored or worked with. So I'm gonna try it out. This is the idea of what I'm going for right now. And then after I get a sketch figured out, I'll go into the ceramics room and I'll start preparing my clay. That means wedging and all that, and then I'll throw it on the potter's wheel. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take, it's had babies since I first drew. Flat center it first, just so I can do less centering later. Okay, here we go. This is gonna be massive. Massive, I say. So I'm applying pressure with my leg right now and just pushing inward to try to center the inside of the clay. So I'm just like using my body weight and my leg and leverage on my legs and stuff to just push this right to the middle of the wheel. I wasn't about to say anything, but I was really afraid that wouldn't work well. So, okay, so I'm opening right now. So when I open, I kind of, sometimes I open with 2 fingers, sometimes I open with my thumbs like this, sometimes I open with 1 finger like this. But I've kind of settled in the middle where I like using my left thumb and my right hand and just pushing in like that to make the opening. Just kind of like hooking in and trying to get a little bit of wall that I'm going to be able to lift here in a second. Okay, so here is the part that we're going to see how it goes. Yas. Oh, that went so well. It's going well, in case you're wondering. It's just making sure it stays going well. Okay, so now I'm running the risk, but I'm not gonna let it happen, of this actually in this top rim like caving in. So I'm gonna need to get a blow dryer. Got that on video, nice. Okay, I need to approach this in a smart fashion. So I need to make these lines. So I'm thinking, how do I want to do this? I think I'll do this after I make the lines out. Okay. I'm struggling a lot with this. This is one of my first times doing this, and it's really difficult for me.
Yo, there are bits in here.
Oh my gosh, no.
Ben, it looks so nice just now.
It's okay.
Just trying to salvage something. So frustrated right now. That's all. That's the story of how I feel. So frustrated. Because I'm not going to lie, I was trying to be stealthy about it, but I've never made anything that big. But that's not why it fell. That is not why it fell. It fell because I was trying a new technique, which could have made anything fall, no matter how big it was. I remember the exact project I was doing. I could tell you the artist I was trying to imitate. It was in my 9th grade year. I was in my Ceramics 2 class, and it was my final project, right? I was imitating an artist who, what he did was he would take his pieces and he would cut them and reattach them with glaze. I thought it was so cool. And at that point in time, the biggest thing I made was probably like yay big maybe, as far as on the potter's wheel, right? And so I was like, hey mom, I gotta make something out of this style, what should I do? And she's just like, well, I really would like a big beautiful pitcher to put flowers in. And so I'm just like, oh, you know what? I can make that. I got you, mom, I am there. And then she found this picture on Instagram, this picture that had a skinny little base and had this big bulbous top that came out. And I'm just like, I can do that, I got it. And I tried so hard, but I didn't know my limits at that point. And so I was throwing twice as much clay as I'd ever thrown before, and I was trying to get it twice as tall as I'd ever gotten it before, and I was trying to get it thinner on this part and thicker on this part. I've never done that. And I probably went through an entire bag of clay in like a day because I was just totally trying stuff and absolutely destroying it every time. I tried doing it upside down, tried doing it all kind. It was not working at all. And I remember just feeling so defeated by it because I didn't know why. I'm like, I thought I was supposed to be good at this. But after just getting away from it for a few days, I think I had a weekend, and then I was just like, this is something I really love doing. I just need to learn how to do it without, if I'm making myself angry doing it, if I'm making myself upset doing it, then that's not how I want to do it. I need to find what I'm good at and work from there. I'm not going to be the best. I'm not going to be the very best. I have ways to learn. I'm not going to be my teacher. I'm not going to be this person I see on Instagram just because I'm better than some of the people in my class. So just me kind of realizing my place as an artist, that I still have a lot of room to grow. So the approach I'm taking on this guy is I'm actually going to do a 2-part throw. So this is going to be kind of interesting. In a little bit, I'm going to hopefully get this done a little quicker because I made it smaller and I'm gonna actually throw a second piece, and then I put it on the top. What happened last time? Okay, so what I did is the clay on the top was like kind of thin, right? And what I ended up doing was by pressing out on the inside, especially without having like a good idea of how I was supposed to do it and like taking my time, and pretty much I was pressing out for a lot farther and a lot more time than I needed to be. What that did was it stretched out that inside even more. So it resulted in it being so thin that it just caved in under its own weight. Yeah, so what I needed to have done is, if I was going to throw it, first of all, I think throwing it in two pieces is better. That's what my teacher said is a little better. It'll give me a chance to make the one piece thrown faster and also hopefully to a better quality. I didn't really have my technique down. I had kind of an error in the way I was going about it. I'm also going to signature this while it's upside down. Magic moment. That I can live with. Okay. There we go. Okay. Now I've wrapped up this part right here. So this part's actually still quite soft. So what I'm gonna do is this. I need to make sure this is attached well. So let me go ahead and trim this a little bit, because I don't want this to be breaking off. There we go. Now I have that same kind of shape right up here, imitating the bottom there. Don't want to make this soaking wet. I just want enough water to... First, I'm actually reaching down that inside and sealing up this kind of space. After I make it on the wheel, it will need to dry for a bit. But once I get it to like a consistent dryness all the way through, I will usually trim it. So that means put a foot on it, like a little ring so it stands up. If I want to add some surface detail as well, I'll usually do it at that point in time. And then it'll go into the bisque firing. That's the initial firing. When it gets all the moisture out of the clay and starts to harden it, after it comes out of there, I will put a liquid glaze on it. And then I will put it in for the glaze firing, and the glaze firing will melt the glaze onto the surface and create a nice, usually shiny glass type consistency. So yeah, the whole process pretty much.